Okay, I am going to I'm just gonna jump right into it. Zenless Zone Zero is not for me. I played about not quite 2 hours of it, and after an 8 hour download cycle, a hour long verification, and then another hour long installation, and then an additional 15-minute file integrity verification, I finally got to get in and I finally got to play the game. And I will say all the good first, just so it's not like, oh, you're a hater or whatever. I don't know. I really don't care what you think. The game looks fantastic. Has some of the best visuals within this art style that I've ever seen, and honestly, it scratches an itch that I personally love. It reminds me a lot of The World Ends With You to a degree. It kind of has that street punk, hip hop vibe about it. Honestly, an almost Splatoon aesthetic. If you're looking for another comparison, it looks amazing. I love the icons. I love the character designs. I love the HUD. I love the general user interface. Like, even the little icons for the different stuff, they all look fantastic. And yet, there's something missing. I forget exactly how long it took. I think it took like 15 minutes from starting the game to actually be able to control a character. And this is whatever. Like, it's just my personal sport to test how long it takes from starting a game to actually get to control something. And this is if you're not spamming through the menus, if you're supposed to consume the story as it is presented to you. Took about that long. And don't get me wrong, really cool looking thing. Story is whatever. I'm never going to care about the story of a Hoyoverse game because the story of Hoyoverse does not exist. It's a long, convoluted bunch of random words that are thrown at you in a please, we'll figure this out as we go, but I gotta get all this front loaded, otherwise you're really going to be lost later kind of storytelling. And you know what? That's fine. That's fine. I've come to not expect much from story, from writing of characters, or story, or plot, or whatever. This does look interesting, however, on a level. Maybe I'm biased because of other games I've played and they've had similar setups that I don't mind it so much. But moving on. Eventually, we get to choose our main character, something called a proxy, and we choose between Wise or Bell. And this choice is meaningless because you will be able to control this character in the overworld. You do not fight as this character. I just want to get this out. I just want to get that out there, and it makes no sense to me in a Hoyoverse game. And maybe in like past hour 2, this changes, but the proxy is not a character that you control or play as. It is just, I don't know, a spotter, Overwatch, someone who knows something and is kind of like the mission control oracle, I guess. I don't know. And ultimately, it just doesn't matter. If you choose one character, the other character will get more voice lines, which seems counterintuitive to me. Both these characters occupy the same space within the story to a degree. You're both part of a duo. I'm assuming you both go into these hollow points or whatever, and you help guide people out. And that's it. That is your big job as legendary proxy. Because I've seen the character menus. I've seen all the characters you can get and all the agents that you could find, and they are not there. The main character, Bell and Wise, is not there. The only thing that you get with Bell and Wise is when you hit the pause menu, you get a cool animated background of them sitting. which, again, if this changes later, I don't know. It's just not a very good look for early on. Gameplay, and I'm going to be all over this. I, again, really don't care. Gameplay is split up into 3 parts. One is fighting in set battles. You go around areas, you fight monsters as they show up. You can't leave the area until you beat them, and then smash cut away until you end up at the next area. A step above that, you have a grid of TV screens that you're supposed to navigate that I guess gets much bigger as the game progresses, but there are things you could pick up on the grid. There's an effective way to do everything. You get graded on how many of each pickup you get or how many fights you do. And it's kind of like a puzzle thing where you're trying to find a switch to allow you to leave or find a switch to get a path to an item that you need to get before you can leave. But it all boils down to the same thing. A very rudimentary, very basic kind of puzzle, I guess. I wouldn't call it a dungeon crawl. I honestly don't know what to call it. But it's not that engaging to me. Other people might get all the entertainment out of the world out of this, but it is not engaging to me. A step above that, you have the city, in which you go around, talk to people, and interact with NPCs to do stuff. I've only met 2 NPCs. I'm sure there are more, but you have to go back to your base in order to do missions, and the missions are broken up into the previous 2 segments. Explore the area, do the little grid thing, fight in a couple battles, pick up an item, maybe, and then leave. And that's it. Like, the first couple hours of gameplay is not it isn't going to draw me in. I don't want to call it boring because that's not the right word. It's just kind of whatever. And I'm not comparing this to other Hoyoverse games. I played Genshin for a very long time, and I quit several times, and I came back several times. I played Honkai Star Rail for a week, and that was when I figured out that turn-based combat that is slow is not for me. It's very flashy, it's very fun, but it's not for me. And I don't know what this is, but at the barest soul of the game is the gameplay. It looks pretty, it sounds beautiful, it handles really well, but I'm just not sure what I'm supposed to do or why I'm supposed to do it. There are story missions. There's no world to explore. There are random missions that you pick up, and that is it. This isn't like, and this is not an open world. Or if there is an open world, it's hidden 2 hours deep, and that's my cutoff point. I can't care at that point. I'm still honestly kind of just frustrated over the lack of the main character doing anything. That is jarring to me. Your character, you literally have no point as your character because you don't play as your character. You tell your character to go around and do stuff and talk to people in the town, but the meat and potatoes of the game is your character is telling other characters to do stuff. And those characters do the fighting. Anby, Billy Kid, Nicole, those 3, amazing. Absolutely amazing. I don't like Anby at all. I don't like the robotic cold character. But she's well designed. She's well voiced. Dear God, the voice work is fantastic. The kind of film strip comic book cutscenes look fantastic. The animation is top notch. Like, I want to like this game, but there's nothing for me to like. Not on a game level. I would honestly rather have a comic book of this stuff happening, and I would just buy the comic books. Or if there were a collectible card game and the cards did nothing. Oh, hey, cool. Like nice little art pieces for me to do. Like, I'm getting nothing from playing this game. I have no reason to play this game because this game does not provide anything. Maybe in a year, there'll be content that changes enough for me to want to play. But until that time, I don't think this is good. Zenless Zone Zero is not for me. As a game, it is not for me, and I'm not going to put myself into another grindy gacha game in order to buy the pretty characters, play them on predetermined missions, and that is all I can do with them. You don't even get to change their weapons. At least in the other games, you could change what their weapons kind of look like. This one, they have pre-built weapons, and they're just orbs. So, on a level, again, what is the point? Everything that Hoyo has done in other games makes sense to a degree. It gives you something to do. You're able to do stuff with these characters. You're able to run around with them. You're able to explore the world with them, and they, with their abilities, have an impact on the world. These do not. Or at the very least, you're able to change what their weapon looks like. These do not. They're all a bunch of Pokeball-looking weird gadget thingies that, to me as a player, I don't care about. I'm not going to be hype about getting a triple S class Pokeball that allows me to have an extra 500% damage. I mean, on paper, sure, that's cool. But as a new player, I don't have any investment to this. I might as well just buy a number and then put the number in the character's character sheet. I don't know. Again, things might open up later, past hour 2. But until that point, I just don't care. And I want to. I really wanted to. I wanted to enjoy this game. I wanted to like this game. I wanted this game to be the thing that I waste my time on. But that is not the case. So, do with this as you will. If you want to download a game that's over 100 gigabytes big and is just that, as I just gesture to everything that is the game, then fine. I mean, people's gonna play the game for tits and ass anyway. So I can't wait to see the hentai that's made of this game, because oh my lord, is there lots and lots of potential for it. Borderline Overwatch levels, just based off of the art style and the character designs. So yeah, that'll be interesting.